Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. Manchester City versus Liverpool match preview, making his debut on the channel. My good friend, my match day live presenter pal, the Anton Deck of Manchester City. FG, how are you doing?
Mate, I'm very well, mate. Good morning. I'm excited to be here, mate. I can't believe it's been this long. It's probably because of my ridiculous schedule, isn't it, to be honest? But
Yeah,
no,
you're
it's an
you're a
absolute
man
pleasure,
of
mate.
many things, so you're all over the place.
I waste my time watching your stuff, mate. That's what it is, and I
ring you
procrastinate.
up at 9 in the morning and say, FG, I need to talk to you. I'll ring you back in 2 minutes. You ring me 4 days later. Yeah.
No. I'm a busy man, mate, but no, it's a pleasure to be here, mate. Pleasure.
Good, mate. Good. Well, international break is over. I don't know about you, but don't really. I like the break, but I get a bit bored. I need to watch proper football, and with proper football, I mean Manchester City.
Yeah. We're very like you realise on international break how lucky we are to watch the football we do, because some of the stuff I was watching this week was horrendous, and we ain't got enough one till March, which is good. So yeah, I'm in the same boat, mate. To be honest,
you don't get any bigger, mate. First game back, Liverpool at home, the second place in the table. I mean, I went on the overlap pre-season, and everyone was waxing lyrical about Arsenal, what they were going to do, Declan Rice and that. And I mentioned Liverpool. There were a few sniggers in the crowd, but they're doing well, aren't they, mate? They're doing well.
Mate, they're there, and they're going to be, I think, for the rest of the season. They've started really well. They've recruited well. They've got a very good manager. They've got a very, very good home record. They've got a good defence, the best defence in the Premier League, I think, actually. Yeah, they're there, mate, Stephen. It's a tough game. I mean, obviously, with it being a 12:30 kickoff, there's one manager who's not going to be happy about it. And to be honest, rightly so, because they do get dealt a bit dirty with their kickoffs and stuff. But yeah, Liverpool are there, mate, and I do see them as our closest challengers this year, as mad as it sounds.
No, I agree. And I just thought, I was looking at towards the end of the last season when we were going for the league, they were so far away from us, but they were doing their thing. They were turning the pressure on. They were going on that run, but they were just so far away from us. It didn't really matter us. But my worry is we don't want them anywhere near us coming the running, because we've had that many neck and necks with them. And don't get me wrong, we usually pip them. But there'll become a time where one day they're going to get the noses in front. So I want them as further away from us as possible. And I think if we can get the 3 points on Saturday, it keeps them further away. But what you were saying before about Jurgen Klopp, he is right. He has been dealt these 12:30 kickoffs. He doesn't like them. I think they have players in Brazil and everyone flying home. We've got the same, but Edison, I think, I don't think Edison went this time. He was injured.
He didn't go, but Julian went, Alvarez went, and so did McAllister in that. They played in that game. And to be honest, McAllister got kicked about. I watched the game. He got absolutely booted. But I mean, back to what we were saying about Liverpool, remember we have to go to Anfield at some point later on in the season. And our record at Anfield, me and you know, more than ever, it's just not good. And that's not only because of how good of a team they are, but also how good their fans can be at Anfield. You know, when they're in a title race and there's a group of fans. I say this all the time. There's two teams in the Premier League who have a group of fans that can carry them over the line, and that's the Etihad. Whether you like it or not, that is a fortress, and City fans know that. And it's a pleasure to always experience a big game at the Etihad, because the South Stand, where you are, we can hear you shouting, we can hear everybody shouting all around the stadium. You know, even the family stand wakes up on games like that, which is special. And then, of course, you've got Anfield as well, and Anfield is that place. The thing is with Liverpool is they've lost one game this season. They're quietly going about their business, like you said. We're waiting sort of for that moment where they drop points, etc. But remember, they're still a holding midfielder short, and I think the last time they were short in a position was when they got a centre-back in January, and it was Virgil van Dijk. So it'll be interesting to see January as well. But this is actually, in the grand scheme of things, for me, it's a massive game, not just because of where we're at in terms of the table, but psychologically as well. Because this Liverpool side have done it before, and that gives them the difference over Arsenal. For me, as a City fan, watching Liverpool, I'm a massive fan of Jurgen Klopp's football. I think the football they play is second to us sometimes. At times, they play the high pace, they play the wingers, but then that comes into the perspective that we've now got Jeremy Doku. And that man changes everything, Steve. I don't know what you think, but he's box office, isn't he?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the dilemmas that City have got is, does Jeremy start or does Grealish start? Does he want to give them a problem thinking, right, well, we can't go pressing high here against Man City when they've got Doku? Or does City want to control the game? I mean, for me, I've always been a fan of starting Grealish and bringing Jeremy on later on for impact. But I've sort of changed my mind a little bit because I thought against Chelsea, we were just getting a little bit of joy down that side when Jeremy came off. But I understand why he brought the substitution on, because the game was getting crazy and he wanted to control it. But I just think maybe against Liverpool, at home at the Etihad, I think it's one of them. Look, we're at home. Get Jeremy on early doors. Get the crowd up.
It's Trent as well. It's that right-hand side of Liverpool is weak defensively. Like Trent's great going forward. So then there's two sides to the argument here. You look at Jack. I'm a massive, massive, massive Jack Grealish fan, and I always will be, and I know you are too. We wouldn't have conceded 4 goals if he'd have played that full game at Chelsea. It's as simple as that. That's the reality of it. But you're looking at Jeremy and the way he goes forward. He's electric. He brings back the Leroy Sané vibes, even the Shawnee Wright vibes, against Patrice Evra on the derby day.
Did I tell you about my bet the other night?
Go on.
Belgium played Azerbaijan, right? I thought, you know what, I'll have a bet. So I had Romelu Lukaku to have over 3 shots. I had Belgium to be winning in each half. And I had Jeremy Doku to have 2 shots on target. After 20 minutes, Lukaku scored 4. So I'm up. Belgium are winning. Looked at the stats after the game. Jeremy Doku had 7 shots, none on target. So Jeremy Doku, if I see you around, you owe me 500 quid, mate, because come on, bro. You're cutting in with these shots. I thought it's against Azerbaijan.
Maybe they shrunk the net or something, mate, because I saw what he could do against Bournemouth and everything was going in, mate.
I know, and this is what got me. And I thought, you know what? If I was relying on Lukaku, I don't mind. I can blame Lukaku. But I was relying on Jeremy, my boy, and he let me down, so I was fuming.
Well, that means he owes you a favour, so hopefully he can bring in a favour on Saturday. But, to be honest, look, I don't know about that argument about Grealish and Doku because they're 2 very different players. City fans, I don't blame us all for getting so gassed and excited when Jeremy's on the ball because I love it. I love watching it. With that being said, we need to put some respect on Jack's name, man.
Of course.
That man won us the treble. It was a massive part of winning us the treble. He's electric in his own way in terms of the way he controls the ball. And when you want to rattle someone, when you want to rattle a team, it's Jack Grealish. Because Jack Grealish on that pitch, he backs it with everyone, which I see. He's in the referee's ear, which I see. And he's drawing fouls, which is important against a team like Liverpool. And I think Pep will probably go with Jack just because of that control, just because of, what's happened before and how good he's been in previous games, in big games at the Etihad. But Jeremy coming on in the final 20, 30 minutes, maybe even second half, against Trent, who could be depleted, who will be run around all about because City have had the ball, will be interesting. I mean, I don't know where you'd go with it because we're looking potentially a bit short in the centre of in the middle. And we did see in the Champions League where Jack came on and was on the same time as Jeremy, when Jeremy was class. It was at Champions League night, I think it was. Jeremy was class and he brought Jack on and he was brilliant as well. Or he brought Jeremy on, sorry, and Jack was brilliant as well.
We've got a Bernardo Silva in the middle of the park for me for the energy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he picked up a knock. He didn't play for Spain, but I believe he might be okay. I think Foden probably start on the right. The left, he's up in the air. The big fella, he missed a game. He had a knock. Hopefully, he's going to be fine. Haaland.
I've seen Fabrizio's leak saying he's fine, so I'll take that at face value.
Well, I think we've got a dilemma with the Alvarez situation for me. I think in games, a lot of games, you get away with Alvarez playing just behind Haaland there. Yeah. But as you've seen against Chelsea, I thought we got overrun in the midfield because...
I couldn't agree more, mate. I couldn't agree more.
Midfielder, and I think you're lacking. You're leaving a Bernardo Rodri to run around that midfield. I think against Liverpool, what we want is control. So even Nunes coming in...
Liverpool, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nunes did come in, to be honest. With that being said, we've also got Rico who can play that inverted role and can play anywhere.
Yeah.
and he's trusted him away at Arsenal. And Rico could potentially step in. But I agree with what you're saying about Alvarez. Like, I love him. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. But we saw it at Chelsea, didn't we? We saw the gap in the middle. The question is can we get away with that a little bit based on Liverpool's lack of holding midfielder?
Probably.
I mean,
they're going to be worried about us in that midfield, because if we keep the ball and we kill them with possession, then they're gonna think it's going to be a long day. You don't want to be chasing shadows at the Etihad Stadium. It's hard enough as it is. You don't want to be doing it. They're probably going to see a little glimmer of light with the Chelsea result and think, hold on a minute, this Chelsea team scored 4. I know they conceded 4, but they scored 4.
I mean, the reason they scored 4 against us was because, you know, they looked like a Poch team. They pressed really, really well, Chelsea. And if Liverpool can adapt that, they will. But the problem you've got is at the Etihad, you know, and in that atmosphere, City will just play out of it. City will just play out of it. I mean, that Chelsea game was, for me, it was a good learning curve for us in the season. It's nothing to be worried about because, you know, it's so easy. And I'm with you, by the way, because after the game, I mean, we were both there, and you can sense, you know, when you've drawn a game, and you can just sense, oh, fucking hell.
There's another problem that's been keeping me awake. Mo Salah, Guardiola down that side. And I mean, Guardiola's a fantastic player. We know that. But I've seen him struggle a little bit against a little bit of pace. I know he's a centre-back and he's probably, you know, not a left-back. But Nathan Ake, is he fit?
I mean, well, this is it. This is what I was thinking. I've heard, I think I've read it on Twitter that he could be fit. And Ake's massive for a game like this. The experience he's got, the way that he locked off Saka last year in the title race and in the FA Cup, on the way to winning that treble. I mean, Josko's not let us down. I mean, he's class. I think he's top class. But
I just think you don't want to get him hung out to dry against a Mo Salah. I think I'd rather just put experience against him because Josko.
Then what would you do through the middle? Then would you put Josko at centre half?
I would play Guardiola and Diaz. I like Akanji, don't get me wrong. If he wants to stick Akanji at centre back and keep him at centre back, I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
if you're trying to get him to go into midfield, I think that leaves us exposed at the back, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of Akanji. I'd rather, sooner and better, I'd rather get Guardiola in at centre back and have him try this.
No, I completely agree.
Role in midfield.
I completely agree. I mean, with it being that 12:30 tax as well, do you think that benefits us? Because I mean, historically, after the international break, City get better. I mean, the problem is this year we've had so many international breaks, and the players have had so many fixtures, and we've got Champions League again, you know, midweek, and then granted, in a group that we've demolished anyway, so he could, you know, take the focus off that. We might not see Rodri play again.
We're on that record, though, aren't we? Where we're on so many undefeated, so we can't let it slip.
And that's exactly what I was about to say as well. Look, everything's done in that group, but we're on a record, and we're going to be breaking another record, so we've got to win that game as well. It's interesting with it being early. I mean, I just wish De Bruyne was back. And you know what? I think this game would have been perfect for Kovacic because he loves having the ball, and Mateo's obviously injured, which is a huge loss for us because he started the season really well. He got a bit of a niggle. He's not really looked the same since he's come back. That level of sharpness, and I think it would have been nice for him to play, and it would have been nice for him to have some football internationally as well.
Where do you see Nunes? There's a lot of Man City supporters saying to me, Steve, I don't know why we've bought him. I don't know where he's going to play. You know, I don't know what he's coming now. He's not young as such. He should be ready to go in. Where do you see him playing? Do you see him playing a little bit further up the pitch? Is he going to be an enforcer, someone that we can rely on when Rodri's not there, or is he? I don't know.
I don't think anyone's close in that squad to lace in Rodri's boots. I think the player that you'd have in holding midfield over anyone, in my opinion, because of his versatility, is probably Rico.
Yeah.
Because of his versatility, but he's not. No one's at that level. I see Nunes as being a good part of the squad. I think we've seen a little glimpse when in the Champions League. I mean, don't get me wrong, he had a shocker at Wolves. I mean, that was shocking, but there's nobody really played well, and there was no Rodri there. But I think he's going to take time to integrate. But I wouldn't be surprised if he takes Alvarez's spot of the weekend because of what you're saying. Because he's a natural midfielder, he can carry the ball, he can draw fouls. I think the best is yet to come with him, and I really do believe that. Like, granted, we've had a couple of signings in recent times that haven't quite gone in our favour. And players need time to settle. They really do need time to settle. And I mean, I'd like to see, if Alvarez doesn't play, I'd like to see Nunes and see how he does in that game. I think he'd relish it. Saw what he did at Old Trafford, mate, in a Wolves. We all enjoyed that. I mean, then again, mate,
I'm waiting for him to have a big game. I'm waiting for Pep to let him off the leash in a big game, and we can finally see him, because we know he's got it in there. He's trained enough with the team now. He knows what to expect. He always looks lively when he comes on. He always looks like he's putting a shift in.
Yeah.
And at the Etihad, we can protect him a bit more. Like you say, at Wolves, I think the crowd and everything got to him.
Yeah. I mean, he was just a bit poor, wasn't he? But the reason he was poor was probably because of everything around him. I mean, we saw what he can do at Old Trafford. I mean, we'll keep talking about that because that was brilliant. To be honest, mate, I think you would have run rings around Casemiro or whoever was in that midfield that day, Mason Mount and that.
Yeah, he's carrying probably similar weight. He's probably carrying similar weight to me, Casemiro, at the minute.
Yeah, me and you put together, mate. But yeah, I'm not worried too much about Nunes. I don't know if City fans in the comments below will probably let us know, and it'd be great to hear from him.
I get a lot of panickers on here. We had the Doku Grealish debate, and what I was saying to people is, look, they both play for our team. So we've got two fantastic options. Maybe Jack needed a kick up the arse. Maybe he needed a bit of competition. So he brought that, you know what I mean? So that can only be good and healthy. With Nunes, I think, obviously, when you lose a player like Gundogan, who's a legend of the club and done loads for us, to bring somebody in, everyone's automatically going to try and compare Nunes to Gundogan. It's not the thing. But what we're trying to say is Nunes is his own man. Pep's got, obviously, plans for him. We've just got to relax. We give everybody else time. We've got to give Nunes a bit of time. You know what I mean? Look,
I am exactly the same as all of these panickers. I always see it in the comments. You know, I always see what the blue boys think, and because I mean, whenever I want an opinion or I want to see whether I'm feeling right, I check out your comments of your stuff, because I know all the City fans on your channel are the same as me. It's in our DNA, Lummy. You know what I mean? Like it's in our DNA to be like that, and it's like my dad, mate. I can't remember the game we were, but I think it was Bournemouth at home, and we were so far clear, and he goes, I could do with another goal there. Like,
it's a typical City mentality. It creeps in your mind.
What do you mean? He's like, well, you just never know. They get one and they get two. And I'm like, look, let's keep it calm. Like you're saying, we're so lucky to be in a position where we've got Jeremy Doku, who's one for the future. Don't forget how young he is. And we've also got the creme de la creme Jack Grealish, the treble winner, the one who's done it before on a big stage, who doesn't get fazed by anything. We're so lucky. And that's why you have to sit back and think, oh. And then, you know, John Stones' injury is massive. I mean, it's another thing that panics me as well. But then I look at the squad we've got. We've got Ake, we've got Akanji, we've got Diaz, we've got, you know, Vardio, we've got Rico we can play in there. It's never doom and gloom like as much. And this team is top of the league as well. This is a team of winners. 3 in a row.
About January, do you think I'm starting to look at the squad? It is a little bit. It is. We always this myth about us having this squad with 2 great players in a position. It's a myth. We have a great squad with a lot of players that can play several positions. We don't have a like on Championship Manager when you was a kid. You used to always get a couple of left backs, a couple of right backs. It's not like that. But I think January. There's a lot of rumours we're being linked with Paqueta if the scandal goes away. Ruben Neves is getting linked with everyone, so I reckon he's unhappy out in Saudi. Yeah. And we're talking about a young lad from Benfica.
The one that Bernardo mentioned, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, it looks like we're looking at that midfield area like we need options.
I mean, well, look, put it this way, mate. When I play career mode with City, I don't fake injuries, so some of the lads are happy because they're not playing. Like it's simple. We haven't got the squad. I mean, you're looking at it, and then you're looking at the Champions League format, which is going to come in. Yeah. You're looking at the million games where Big Steve and FG are going to be on Match Day Live, travelling round more than we're breathing. Right, travelling around more than we're breathing, mate. And all the Blues are going to be going home and away. And, mate, I don't know how we're all going to afford that. That's when the big squad problem comes in. And then you look at it, I mean, if we potentially lose Calvin, and I wouldn't blame him for going because there's a major tournament coming up. And let's have it right about Calvin Phillips. He's a top player. This is
we've said it on here. I'm a big fan of him. I get a bit of grief. But
I love Calvin. I think he's a brilliant player, but it just seems like it hasn't quite worked out.
Yeah.
There still could be an option for him to continue his chapter with us, and I'd love nothing more than it to work out with him. But if he is to go, then it's right. We're back to square one. There's nobody to replace Rodri. There is nobody to replace Rodri. And that's when you have to enforce. And you know what? The Paqueta signing, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But then you look at the fact that we bought Nunes as well. So is he then using Nunes in a different role?
This is what I was thinking.
Fingers with Pep and them guys. They think so.
Do you know last season I watched early in the season? There was games we were scoring goals, we were winning, but we weren't quite at the races. Erling Haaland wasn't getting touches, and people were saying he played for the wrong club and all that. And when you actually watch the season review and you see some of the games, you think to yourself, yeah, well, I understand why people said that. But what I noticed from last season, a lot of the assists and a lot of the stuff coming from Gundogan and De Bruyne was through the middle.
Yeah,
but what we're seeing from this season, there's not a lot coming through the middle. So I can't remember when the last time somebody slipped Haaland through on a one-on-one and he ran through.
I mean, it's Kevin, isn't it?
That's it. We missed Kevin, but Gundogan as well, added with so many assists.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder though if Kevin's in that team that you start seeing the players, and you'll see the best of Kovacic in that situation. We watched Kovacic and Rodri at the start of the year, and it was majestic. It was like these two were like tick and tack. They were brilliant. Kova got injured. You know, Rodri didn't play a few games, lost the rhythm a little bit. They'll get that back. But then you wonder if De Bruyne is in that midfield, that Kova's then going to get that license to do them Gundogan runs. Where the Pep's at the minute saying, all right, just hang back here because we've got Julian there and it becomes a 4-2-4. We need you a bit back. And that's De Bruyne changes everything for me, Steve. Like, obviously, we're so lucky to have him, and you know, I hope he stays forever.
Have you heard any news on De Bruyne? I heard a rumor he was running around the pitch.
I saw a tweet, mate, saying that he was running around and all that, and you know, I saw that he was back in training and stuff like that. So fingers crossed.
If we manage this De Bruyne situation right now, in my opinion, we keep him wrapped up in cotton wool. We get him back to elite fitness level behind closed doors. Yeah. And then unleash Kevin De Bruyne in the final quarter of the season. That's like bringing in a £200 million player for me.
Mate, and the rest.
It's crazy. I'm just saying, keep on the coattails. I don't care if we're second. I don't care if we're third. Keep on the coattails. Ride the coattails till the end.
There will be moments in this season where City might not be top.
Yeah,
there will be moments in this title race where we might not be top, but I've sort of got that little bit of arrogance about this team now, and I don't know what the guys watching think, but I've got that arrogance that, you know what?
Listen, if you can't have arrogance after winning the treble, you're never going to have arrogance.
But it's everything we used to despise, mate. It's everything we used to despise. So I don't want to get too far. We have to be humble with where we're at. But I mean, it's sort of as if we're second with 3 games left and there's 9 points in it, I still back us to win it. Because this team, I don't know how they keep doing it, but they keep doing it in the face of adversity every time. We've had moments in the... Mate, I remember that game where we lost 5-2 to Leicester. Yeah. I'll never forget that game because that was doom and gloom. And if you want to go further back, I remember the game where Balotelli got sent off at Arsenal. Yeah. I remember the away on that day. And I remember, and I go back and I think, right, okay, QPR, Villa at home. I think, hang on a minute. This team, no matter what happens, no matter what gets said on social media, no matter what these other people say, they come out the other end all the time.
They've got something, haven't they? This team's got something.
It's this club, mate. It's this club. It's what it is. It's the club, and I tell you what, the fans are a massive part in it. That's what I've realised through being at the club is how much people love the fans and understand the fans. And mate, our away support is ridiculous. You know, and
do you know what though? We get written off these rival clubs. I love it. I love it. I say to you, keep writing us off, keep calling it the Etihad, because the biggest teams in the world, Real Madrid and all that, shit themselves at the Etihad. Do you know what I mean? We've
seen them come out and say the best atmosphere they've played in was the Etihad. You know, look, I don't care what anyone says who doesn't go to the Etihad Stadium about our atmosphere, because every time I go there, right, the majority of the time we leave with a smile on our face, and in a big game, I can't hear myself think, mate. And I don't care what anyone says. You can ridicule us, whatever you want.
I think that South Stand, it took a long time to get it going, but I think the energy in there. Now, I did a reel about it, and they all slagged me off. But I was like, listen, mate, I go to football matches all my life. I always talk about this feeling in my chest about like energy. I like to go to games where I have a feeling in my chest where I'm nervous and that.
Yeah.
That Real Madrid game last year and the Bayern Munich game at home, the Liverpool game at home, the atmosphere in there was one of the best I've ever experienced in my life.
Honestly, mate, and I've got my season ticket in 115, and obviously I work a lot, but I'll always keep that season ticket in 115 because the opportunity to sit with them lads in that part of the South Stand, they just get it. Firstly, and you know what? I love the younger ones as well. The younger lads who are coming through now, they love it because it reminds me of when I was sat in 111. You know, when I was a bit younger. We played in the Carabao Cup against Spurs and that got beat and everything like that. These kids are watching the best football around, mate, and they're making a lot of noise. They're singing a lot of chants. This whole, you know, empty seats and all that. When we were growing up, right? I mean, a few of you watching this might not realise, but there was 2 City fans in my school. It was me and another lad called Piers. And we were the only ones, mate. There was more Stockport fans in us. There was more Oldham fans in us. You know, we were getting ridiculed every Monday. We were winning a game and it was the best thing ever. But we knew we only had till Friday next week because
milk it.
Because we milk it and then we get battered for 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
You guys are so lucky to be watching the football we are. And whilst you're doing it, it's great to see how much fun you're having. You know, I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff about, you know, the 18-25 ticket thing, you know, with the points and stuff like that. Me and you've got points. You know, we've been going for a long time. But I think that's a great addition because it's given an opportunity.
Yeah, we spoke about it on air, and we said I was a big skeptical about it at first.
Yeah.
I had a lot of the older in my ear, but then after the season, I said to the older guys, I went, "Look, these younger lads are keeping us rocking here." And then what we did is last season away on the European tours, instead of the older boys sitting in that bar over there, the younger ones sitting in that bar over there, we sort of brought everyone together. Yeah. And then people, old and young, sort of mix now, and everyone knows each other. And we're building something. We're building something off the pitch, but we had to build something off the pitch.
Yeah. Look, you know what it is, right? One thing I'll say about City fans, and this is coming from not just me, but my dad. My dad's been watching City home and away for many years. Never once had a problem with City fans. And the reason he's never once had a problem with City fans is because Man City fans are the most accepting fans in the world. Regardless of who you are, regardless of where you're from, regardless of what you wear, I'm speaking to you, Daps, right? Regardless of you know what accent you've got. Whatever.
Listen, if you could accept Daps in a pink tracksuit with a Cockney accent, you'd accept anyone.
No, absolutely, and that's why it makes you love the club even more because watching City, you know, was a bit different back in the day. But I always, you know, we were that small club, you know, what that everyone wants to, you know, get on the back of. But one thing I knew that every week when I was growing up, I was getting a coach on my own. Shout out to Dawn, by the way. She was amazing. She helped me out, Dawn Morris. Got me tickets when I couldn't get them, this, that, and the other when I was growing up. One thing I knew that every weekend I was getting on that coach, getting in that way end, and I was going to be accepted by the fans no matter what. And the supporters that we've got, the community that we've got, the fact that I saw it, I think it was Madrid when you were in the square, right? With all the younger lads as well. I've seen it, Steve. I've seen like it's just like, mate, the people that you hang around with are just great people anyway, and the younger lads that you get involved are even better. And that's what we need to do. We need to stick together, you know, because if we get so much grief, these City fans, we get so much grief, mate.
Jealousy, though, isn't it?
But it's jealousy, and we're all together in it. And as long as you realise we're all together in it, we'll be all right, mate. It's as simple
it's good, mate. It's good. It's so good.
Right.
I had a little moment yesterday. I did a bit of filming for a documentary at the Etihad. I won't tell them what it is unless I don't think I'm allowed to yet. But anyway, I did a bit of filming. Came out and I was going back to my car. And there's little zebra crossing in the obviously you know it, in the training ground. Little zebra crossing. Yeah. Zebra crossings everywhere. Yeah. I stopped at the zebra crossing because there was a car coming towards me. The car stopped at the zebra crossing. The windows down. It's Pep Guardiola has stopped at the zebra crossing to let me go. I'm on the phone. I just went, "Hiya, Pep." He went, "Hello." And then I walked across the road. Well, I actually didn't walk across the road. I actually went, "Go, you go, you go." And he just went past me and through the gate. And I was like, shit, nobody's seen that. But just Pep Guardiola's just like waved to me and that. And I was like, proper starstruck. I know you told me, Steve, You need to stop being starstruck now, but I can't help it.
No, I say that, but remember me at Old Trafford when he shook my hand, mate? I went for a run and a dance.
Oh, I know, yeah. I've never seen anyone excited in my life.
Oh, my gosh. It's a dream for us. We're so lucky. We're so lucky. Yeah. But, I mean, one thing I've realised with being close to the club is how good this team is and how good this club is. Yeah. We're just making you feel a part of it. And how the fans make you feel is exactly how this team makes you feel. And they get it, mate. But yeah, mate, I hope you've not washed your hand, mate, because I'm about 4 weeks deep now and I've not.
But talking about the club, obviously Saturday, match day live, very too.
Yes. You know what, right? You know what? It's about time as well, mate, because the
split us up, man.
At Old Trafford. Yeah, we're split up because Big Steve's in the studio and he's the big man, so you'll see him absolutely everywhere on the screens. You'll see him outside the ground after it. And then you've just got me who does like a little segment pitchside, but then I'm going to watch the game where you are. So we'll be
going up there, yeah. I'm in the studio with David James and Charlie Adams, so should be good banter in there. I don't know. Well, we've seen the internal graphics, and they've done Big Steve dirty on it. They've painted me head as it's bad.
You know what, right? Look, you're going to try and hide this, but I'm getting it up, mate.
Get it up. It's a shocker.
Getting it up. Oh,
this is a shocker, people. This is what they've done to Big Steve.
I spent so long laughing at it, and I think you replied like, "Who's drawn me?" or something.
Yeah, who's drawn me? David James got a normal picture. Look
at that. Why do you head look so big on that? You know what,
mate? I think someone's like, it looks like my head's made of plasticine.
Right, get your screenshots ready, everyone. There you are, my friends.
Oh my God! Look at that. Mate, look about 60-year-old.
Yeah, look how much he's aged. That's the graphic they wanted to share because they know that Big Steve is the big deal and he's the one who should be in the middle. But they've just done so dirty there, mate. You can't share that.
I know. Well, I need to have a word with Graham in the office, so I can't be dealing with it. You know what I mean? I can't be dealing. I'm a man of the people, man. I'm a man of the people.
I was absolutely crying when I saw that. I was like, I can't believe they've done that to him. Oh my gosh! No, it's going to be a good show because it's always a good show when you're involved. To be honest, the banter will be high between me and him pitchside. If there's anything you want me to say to him, to throw back to him, we're definitely going to mention that picture. Of course we are. You ain't getting away from that. You ain't getting away from that all show.
The graphic designer is at City because he's having me at it there.
Oh mate, you ain't getting away from that all show. That is it's a shocker.
Listen, mate. It's a pleasure as always to have you on. Just let everybody know you've got that much going on. You're playing the FIFA and all that. You've cost me about £1 million in cards because my stepson comes down and says, FG's just opened this pack and got such a body. Then I give him 40 quid and I open a pack and I get the AC Milan third goalkeeper. So, yeah, let everyone know where you are, man.
Mate, you can just find me on like my socials, on my YouTube, TikTok, whatever. This is FG is my name, but... yeah, and I'll be in that away end as well with you guys at some point. So, mate, it's a pleasure, Lummy. Big Steve, even we've known each other for so long that we're on. Yeah, but no, it's an absolute pleasure, mate. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep flying the flag for us. I'm always watching and yeah, love to you.
No, I've got to thank you because you've always backed me and put my name forward when City needed stuff and that, and I really appreciate it. And obviously, we've known each other a long time. We're proper City fans. We've done the miles, we've done the yards. We're trying to bring it. We've been offered an opportunity by our club that we love and support, and it's just amazing. Like me and you, if anyone could see us when we go in the media lounge, we're like two kids that have just been let in the ground, and
we just walk around and just look, check that, Steve. Look at this and all that.
There's Yap Stan. There's Yap Stan. Yap Stan's eating corned beef hash next to me the other day, and I'm like, I can't believe this. It's no, it was good, mate.
That press was horrible at United, wasn't it? Oh my God.
Well, listen, anyone that went to the women's game the other day, we levered them again, and there was concrete block falling from the ceiling. So we need to wear Man City hard hats next year when we go there, and sight glasses and that.
Oh mate, yeah, well, that's 2 out of 2 either way for us.
What do you think? Weekend just before we go.
I think we'll be fine. I think we'll get a result. I think City will win the game. With it being a 12:30, with it being the Etihad, I always back us there, and I think City will get a result. But I think there'll be goals. I mean, Liverpool are a great team, but this is Man City, mate, and they know the importance of this game, and they will do. And that's why half the players have probably not played in the national break because they know about Liverpool at home. And they know about the importance. I
hope you're right, mate. I've got a good feeling about it myself. I'm really, really confident. And listen, people, thank you for tuning in. FG's on here. Go and check out his socials. Go and have a look at him for FIFA. Don't buy any of them packs, though.
Yeah, don't buy any of them. Do not do that.
But other than that, listen, like, share. Please drop this video in Man City groups on Facebook.
Yeah.
Anyone needs a match preview, couple of blues having a good chat, recommend it. Appreciate your support as always.
Tag us on Instagram, put us on your stories. We'll reshare everything. Get it up for us.
At the Etihad, come and say hello. Get a lot of people say, "Oh, I've seen you, but I didn't want to mither you." You're not mithering us. Come over. We'll talk football, whatever you want to do. And listen, people, Saturday morning, Man City, Liverpool, South Stand, level up. Come on, City.
Come on, the Blues.